Some people believe that earning respect is about being dominant, intimidating, and aggressive. But today, in this video, I'd love to offer you a different perspective, because what we're going to walk through is 3 very simple habits for instantly earning respect from those around you without disowning your values at work and in business. So hey, without further wait, let's get into it. Back in the day, I used to work with this dude who would intentionally engage in acts of dominance to try and earn respect from those around him. Now, for the purposes of this video and to protect this dude's identity, let's call him Jim, okay? Now, Jim would intentionally belittle others around him who he felt were less competent. Jim would intentionally give some of his teammates, junior teammates, a dressing down in public, and Jim would intentionally engage in behaviors that were designed to humiliate some of his teammates to make himself feel more significant. Intense, right? I mean, it was intense. And hey, here's what happened to Jim. Here's what happened to Jim. Not only did his professional growth stall, meaning he struggled to get promoted, but nobody felt like they could trust him. Every single relationship around him started to deteriorate. And here's why I'm telling you this. If you first don't deeply respect yourself, you will then look for the respect of others to fill that void. So, as we dig deeper into this video and I give you the 3 simple habits for instantly earning the respect of those around you, remember, if you don't respect yourself first, then it's like putting lipstick on a pig, okay? Do the inner work to make the dream work. The first habit for earning instant respect is to ensure that your behavior is congruent with your values, regardless of the environment that you're placed in. And hey, here's what I'm talking about. Let's assume that your core value is health is wealth. And as a result, you don't drink. But here's the problem. One day after work, you get invited for leaving drinks for one of your colleagues, and you're sitting there, you're by the bar, you're hanging out with a sparkling water in your right hand, and all of a sudden, a colleague sees you. They're like, "Oh, Jim, Natalie, Jamie, you're not drinking again? Ugh, you're so boring. Ugh, why don't you lighten up? Come on, just one. Won't hurt, right? One won't hurt. Come on, just a cheeky one drink, right? You know, I used to get that all the time, by the way. In my early 20s, especially when I started in corporate, I used to get this all the time. But here's what I realized. People respect somebody that owns their values, regardless of their environment, versus somebody who violates their values because they want to be liked. Now, whether your value is people over profit or vulnerability is a strength, whatever your values are, remember this. Ensure that your behavior is congruent with that value. Otherwise, not only will you be out of integrity with yourself, but you will tell people around you a shaky story about your character. The second habit for earning instant respect is to allow your imperfections to be heard, but your results to be seen. And here's what I'm talking about, okay? 2 people. Person number 1, a loud yet competent individual who thinks that there's a picture of them next to the word perfection in the dictionary, okay? Person number 2, a humble yet competent individual who owns their imperfections and actually shines a light on them. Now, who would you trust? Who do you have more respect for? I don't know about you, but person number 1, people cannot wait for that human being to make a mistake. So they can say, "Ha, I told you, you're not perfect. You are not perfect." But person number 2, people get behind, okay? They become lovable. But interestingly, because they own their imperfections and shine light on them, they show up as human. People see them as relatable. But because they allow their results to do the talking, which signals their competence, they become superhuman, earning instant respect from everybody around them. Now, person number 1 may achieve short-term influence, but person number 2 has the ability to become truly influential. The third habit for earning instant respect from those around you is to showcase openness in a world where most people have a death grip on their convictions, don't they? Now, I've got 5 subtle ways that you can showcase openness at work and in the world of business, okay? Let's get into it. Number 1, asking others for their perspective without interrupting. Keywords, without interrupting. Here's what I'm talking about, okay? If you and I are sitting in a room and I say, hey, Jamie, what do you think about XYZ? You're like, oh my God, this person values my opinion and they value my perspective. They're open to adopt new ways of thinking. Now, you got to make sure you don't interrupt them, right? If I'm doing this with you and I interrupt you, I just undo any of that signaling, okay? Number 2, taking the time to acknowledge alternative ways to get to the same result. Here's what I'm talking about. 5 + 5 = 10. 8 + 2 = 10. Yeah, I can do quick math. But what I'm trying to say is there are different ways to get to the same result. When you are open to changing the vehicle to get to a specific destination, you are showcasing openness. And once again, telling people that you are not telling the world it's my way or the highway. Number 3, publicly changing your mind on a topic that you once had 100% conviction on. Now, this one's interesting, okay? Think about it like this. If I'm open to changing my mind, if I'm open to saying I was wrong, and if I'm open to not allowing my ego get in the way, it allows you to do the same. And I earn instant respect, okay? So remember, ego stands for everyone's got one, as a silent mentor once taught me. So hey, we've all got ego. But when we allow ourselves to say, I was wrong about that, but here's what I believe now. You earn respect by showcasing openness. Number 4, truly listening to alternative opinions without judgment. Here's what I'm talking about. You and I are in a room, okay? You have an opinion on something, I have an opinion on something, and we're just in it, in a heated argument. No one's got respect for one another in that moment. But if I clear my mind, if I lean in, if I truly listen without judgment, and if I recap exactly what I've heard using your language, I make you feel seen, heard, and understood in that moment. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not trying to convince you or persuade you. I'm just trying to understand you. Funny enough, you're more likely to influence somebody in that scenario, but by showcasing openness, you will also receive openness in that specific moment. Number 5, positively rewarding diversity of thought versus simply those that side with your beliefs. Now, have you ever had a leader who secretly rewarded those who had the same thoughts, beliefs, and ideas as them? Kind of sucks, right? But the leader who says, look, I'm open to different perspectives and actually rewards alternative ways of thinking by implementing specific ideas. It showcases openness. It creates a psychologically safe environment, and it instantly earns the respect of those around them, teammates, whoever it might be. So pretty cool. Now, the funny thing is this. You can tell somebody you're open, but showing them is a different ballgame. Now, by just being a good human being and treating the person opposite you with respect, the law of reciprocity will hold and you will receive that, okay? You will receive respect in return. Okay, let's end with this, people. Did you notice a key pattern with these 3 habits? Nod your head, shake your head. Did you? Didn't you? Well, think about it like this. How can you own your values if you don't respect yourself? How can you shine a light on your imperfections if you don't respect yourself? And how can you showcase openness if you don't respect yourself? You can't, can you? So this key pattern is the following. In order to earn the respect of others, you first need to respect yourself, man. You first need to respect yourself. And if you don't respect yourself, then you will go out there to earn the respect of others to fill that void. And that's like taking a drug to secretly sedate how you truly feel about yourself. And yeah, that's intense. I went there, okay? I went there, but I mean it, and I want the best for you, okay? Respect yourself first. The inner work makes the dream work, man. The inner work makes the dream work. So listen, if you enjoyed today's video, then you will love my newsletter, which drops every single Sunday straight into your inbox, teaching you how to become more influential. Link in the description. Click it, register, do your thing, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.